let me tell you what you're gonna do. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Alexia Nicole and I am living my life by design. Thank you for joining me tonight, well today or whatever time it is that y'all are watching this video. It's nighttime here in New York. It's like almost 10 p.m. but this video was on my mind. I really wanted to get it done and I told myself that I was going to have it done by today, and so here I am, pushing it out for my subbies. I love y'all. So as you all can tell by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about the flight attendant interview process, the overall process, like the outline of the process. So what I want to do is do this video first, which will give you a good idea of what to expect during the process, and then I will do a more detailed video for each steps of the process. So let's go ahead and get into this video for real. And so I can take all this off because y'all know I don't really do the videos with the makeup and the sit down and the cute, but I figured that would be appropriate for tonight. So a little birdie told me that an airline near and dear to my heart might be hiring a month from today. Today is September 1st. So that's just what I heard. You never know, but usually the birdies are always right. But just so y'all know, these interview tips and this interview process is pretty much what most airlines do, especially US-based airlines, which I work for a US-based major airline. So I'm going to be looking at my iPad because I have a few notes on here so I can stay on track. So if you are watching this video because you are interested in becoming a flight attendant, in-flight crew member, a stewardess, a trolley dolly, a cart tart, or whatever term you may refer to it as, or you may have heard it been called, or whatever. All of those terms are something that I've just heard before. So you're gonna get online, your favorite airline, whatever airline owns your heart right now at the moment is hiring, and oh my gosh, you're ready to apply, or at least you think you're ready to apply. Let's go ahead and start our checklist. Right? So first we need to check, and this may not be a first for everybody, but it's definitely a must, so it's going to be my first. First, you need to make sure that you have a passport, right? Let's go ahead, check. That is a must. There's no way that you can be a flight attendant without having a passport. So just depending on the airline that you're applying for, they will either require you to have the passport before you apply. They will either require you to have the passport once you make it to their face-to-face interview, or they may require you to have it before you come to training. These are all different scenarios and situations that I have heard of from other airlines. My specific airline, you have to have your passport before you even apply, because once you're filling out the application, it's going to ask you for information from your passport. So that is a must. That's why it's my number one. So if you don't have that right now, what you need to do, as soon as you're done watching this video, you need to go and apply for your passport, please. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to get our resumes together, honey. Okay? As you all may know or not know, this is a very coveted position. And why? As you can see, the lifestyle may seem glamorous from the outside. It's not always glamorous, but it is definitely enjoyable and you reap the benefits truly. So obviously, yeah, it's going to be a position that a lot of people want. For my airline in particular, when I applied, our application was open, I want to say max 5 days, and we had 6,000 people apply to be a flight attendant with my specific airline. And my airline it's not a huge airline, but it's not small. So if you could just imagine some of those mainline airlines Delta Airlines, American Airlines, United Airlines. They have thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people applied to those positions. So the point of me expressing that is that your resume needs to stand out. It needs to be key. So what I've heard and what I believe is that when you submit your resume online, most airlines and most companies really do a computer generated search that searches through all the resumes and looks for specific keywords that may be in your resume, and then they pull that one and then they move it to the next step. So I'm not really going to go too deep into resumes and exactly how it should be formatted and what your resumes need to say, but this is the basics. You need to express through your resume that you have customer service skills. That's really it. I mean, that's truly what the airlines are looking for. They want to see that you have customer service skills. A good amount of it, maybe a year or 2 years should be good for you. I know a lot of people ask me, does it matter if I have a college degree? No, it doesn't. Yes, you do need to at least have a high school diploma or GED, but a college degree isn't going to make or break you in this industry. I promise you that right now, especially if you're applying for the flight attendant position. But what will is the amount of customer service that you have. So that's really what you want to, hone in on. If you feel like the jobs that you have had in the past really aren't customer service based, use whatever nuggets of that job that felt customer service based and use that as your description or your detail for what that job is, so it can pull in on those keywords when they're searching through the resumes. That's the best tip that I can give you all about that. I know there are quite a few flight attendant YouTubers that have went into detail about your resumes and things like that, so maybe you all can search and find those videos and they'll go into more. Another thing that you want to have with your resume is a great cover letter to introduce yourself and sell yourself to these people. Allow them to have a good idea of who you are before they get into the details of what your previous work history is. And then also, reference letters are always great. So I submitted, I believe, 3 or 4 reference letters when I was applying for my flight attendant positions. I applied for many, so trust me. I perfected this, y'all. Jeez Louise. I had reference letters written from one person that I know that works for this airline. I asked them if they would be willing to write a reference letter for me, and they did. And I also had people from previous employments, whether they were colleagues or my supervisors or management or whatever the case. I asked 3 of those people if they would mind writing a reference letter for me, and they did. So I had all of those ready and prepared and documented well and spell checked and edited correctly. Not edited, but what's the word that I'm looking for? Where your paragraphs are lined up nicely and, it's like in PDF format and all of that. Like, that was already prepared and perfect and ready. So I had my resume, I had my cover letter, and I had my reference letters. All of those were ready and just waiting to be inserted into the file once the application was open. Talk about the actual application itself. These are online applications. I don't believe anybody still uses a paper application. If so, I don't know where you would find one. That's crazy to me. But these are online applications. My biggest thing is with this is do not be lazy with this application. They are going to be long. They're going to ask for a ton of information, and you're going to be tired of filling them out. I mean, I was. Let's just keep it real. But you can't get lazy with these applications. You have to fill them out to the best of your knowledge, every single bit of it. So what that brings me to is being prepared for the actual application. I'm going to ask you the basic information about yourself. That's easy enough to fill out, right? We all know what our name, address, phone numbers, and all of that is. The more detailed part of the application, which is going to take most of your time, is going to be the part where they're asking for your 10-year work history. If you're lucky, you've only had 1 or 2 jobs, and then that's great. But if you were like me and you're a hustler, you've had a lot of jobs. I had a lot of jobs, y'all. So I really had to dig deep and actually really do some research and have all of these listed out before I even filled out the application process. And the application isn't timed or anything like that, but for me it was just easier to have it all written down somewhere else, and when it was time to do the application, I just referenced wherever I wrote them down and typed them in on the application. So yeah, just make sure that you have your 10-year work history ready. Why 10 years? Because this is a federal job and they're going to do a 10-year background check on you, work history check, and all of that. So just be prepared for it. That's just a part of the game of wanting to be a flight attendant. Then you can't get around it. Okay? So please have your 10-year work history. So we got our 10-year work history. Check. Next is going to be, oh yeah, this is where the fun part starts kicking in. So you submitted everything, you got your passport, you did your resume, you did your cover letter, you did your reference letters, you submitted your 10-year work history with your application. Your application wasn't missing any documentations that they asked for. You filled it out to the best of your needs, all of that. Submit it, and now we wait. If you're lucky, you get an email within a week. Some airlines, whoo baby, some airlines take a month or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So patience, 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 patience. Work on it. This career is a lot of hurry up and wait. I will tell you that now. That's just what it is. It's going to be like that from the moment that you apply to the moment that you start working and you're on reserve and you're just hurry up and wait. So get used to it. But then we get that magical email, right? We submitted our application. One day our email pops up and boom, thank you for submitting your application. We reviewed it and we would love for you to move on to the next step. Oh my gosh, right? We're happy, we're ecstatic, we're freaking out. What do I do? Let me tell you what you're gonna do. Next step comes through. We loved your resume. We want to learn more about you. Please submit your video interview within the next 3 to 6 days, just depending on the airline, right? So you're like, oh my God, video interview. I have to record something. They have to look at me. Like, yes, child. I lost my mind about it too. And the video interview blocked me from getting this job for years because I was a nervous wreck every time I did it. I'm here to tell you, don't be nervous. I'm here to give you tips on how to overcome that nervousness when you're doing the video interview, because you're human, right? I'm not a shy person at all. You're human. You know, this is something that you've been aspiring for a long time, and the opportunity has finally presented itself, and now your palms are sweating and you're overthinking and all of that. I'm here to tell you just to calm down, take a breath. It will be okay. I promise you. I wish somebody would have told me that 4 years ago, but hey, it's all good. So, key to the video interview, and like I said, I will go into more details of exactly how the video interview is kind of set up and what to expect, but I really just want you to start working on being confident for your video interview, because that's what you need. So the video interview is basically just like this. Me right now talking to a camera. It's not like a Skype interview. It's just going to be you recording yourself answering 5 to 7 questions. And then you will submit it, and then somebody will watch it. For me, the easiest thing to do to calm my nerves for the video interview was to practice. Honestly, I had to just really start practicing talking to the camera, not being nervous. So I just started talking to the camera. I would look at it for a while, make sure that I looked good, make sure that my background was clean so there wouldn't be any distractions for me or the person watching the interview. Yeah, that, you know, whatever it takes for you to overcome that nervousness of stuttering and going, and pausing, which nothing's wrong with doing those things slightly, because once again, you're human, and the person watching the interview is also human. So they know, you know, but we can't be in the interview stumbling over words and, you know, our minds going completely blank and not having good answers to these interview questions, because you're only going to get one shot at this for a long period of time. And then if you mess this up, you're going to have to wait for most likely another year. We don't have time for that. We're trying to get wings right now. So once it's time to do your video interview, make sure you read that email in detail. Like, that is very important, because you need to see how much time they're giving you to prepare for this video interview. It's not something that you have to do automatically as soon as the email hits your account and you say, oh my gosh, I got to get ready, I got to do that. No. If it's giving you 3 days to complete it, give yourself the first day and half of the second day to prep and get ready and review questions and come up with solid answers for these questions that they're going to ask, and practice these questions. Either sit down in front of the mirror and talk to yourself in front of the mirror, or if you have friends or family that is cheering you on and willing to help you prepare, then have them do it. But you just need to get comfortable, you need to relax, and you need to be confident, and you need to look the part. Okay? So those are the few keys that I'm going to give about that right now. Video interview, check. And then also, some people do a phone interview. I've seen or heard, not seen, I've heard of instances where some airlines just do a phone interview. They don't even bother with a video interview, or you've recorded your video interview and for whatever reason it didn't record correctly, or there were some type of technical difficulties. So instead of the interview, they're going to call you for a phone interview. It's going to be, usually from what I've heard, the same questions that they ask on the video interview, except you'll just be on the phone with a live person, and they're going to be talking to you and asking these questions. But you need to smile. You need to have confidence in your voice when answering these questions, and you need to speak clearly to make sure that, you know, the person is catching everything that you're saying, and then they can envision you on a plane, speaking with customers, smiling, and giving the best service you know how to give. Okay? So, video/phone interview, check. Because it should really only be either or. I really don't know of any companies that just always do both, unless, like I said, it's a technical difficulty. So next, we're going to get that next miracle email. And I tell y'all, this is one of the best emails that I received, because once again, I told you the ratio to the amount of people that apply to the amount of people that get hired, I believe for my airline is like 1 in 6, and for others it's probably about the same, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but it's not a lot. Okay, I consider you blessed, and you've done a real good job if you get invited to the face-to-face. So I have been invited to, I want to say, 3 face-to-face interviews, and every time you get that email, your heart stops beating for a second. You read it 10,000 times to make sure it's saying you're on to the next step and not thanks but no thanks. So yes, so the face-to-face interview. Really, there's not much that I can say about this portion of the interview process without making this an hour-length video. But the face-to-face interview, you're going to get an email. It's going to say, oh, we loved your video interview. We want to meet you in person. And then usually, depending on the airline, it'll give you a few options of dates to choose from. Maybe two dates or so, 2 or 3 dates or so. Or if it was my airline, it was actually a list of dates. And if none of those worked for you, you just kind of kept waiting until they updated it. So that was a blessing. But for the face-to-face interview, you're kind of going to do a lot of the same things that you did for your video interview. You're going to get on Glassdoor and you're going to get on Indeed and you're going to scour those websites until you find every single interview question that could possibly be asked at a face-to-face, and you're going to come up with the perfect answers for those, and you're going to study those perfect answers, and then you're going to recite those perfect answers until they're coming out sounding very natural and not robotic, but they're answering these questions with honesty. First of all, that is key. You want to make sure that you're answering these questions with honesty and how you would truly react, and not what you think that airline wants to hear. Trust me, that was one of my mistakes back in the day. I was answering these questions with what I thought they wanted to hear, and baby, they read right through me, right? So everybody does things differently. Everybody's approach is differently. And what I'm here to tell you is that there really isn't any wrong or right answer to a lot of these situational questions or what you would do type questions, right? They just want to see what type of person you are, how you would handle situations, the type of service that you can give. Now, if you just tell somebody, you know, something crazy way off the walls over there, then yeah, that's going to be a wrong answer. But if you answer with genuine response, then, you know, hey, the outcome doesn't always have to be great with whatever it is that you're telling them. And see, here I am rambling about this because that's going to be a very detailed video. Y'all just wait for it. Then also for the face-to-face, you need to get your look together. You need an outfit that is going to represent what I always felt like, and this is what I did. You need an outfit that is going to represent who you are from the inside out, but also look professional. Also look the part. And I'm not saying look the part as in you have to go in there looking like a flight attendant with a scarf and all of that. No, you don't have to do that. But you do need to be business professional. But you can still express yourself through your clothing. I did that. I'll show y'all photos when I do that detailed video. So yeah, that is the face-to-face. And if you are in that lucky ratio of 1 to 6 or whatever it is, you are going to get a CJO, 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 CJO. And a CJO, you may ask, what is a CJO? A CJO is a conditional job offer, meaning they loved every interview that you did, from the application process, the video interview, phone interview, face-to-face interview, group interview, whatever interview that you did. They loved you. They said, oh my gosh, we can really see this person walking down the aisles of our airplanes. You get your CJO, which is a conditional job offer inviting you to training, complete job offer contingent on you passing training. Don't forget, training is still a huge part of the interview process. They're watching y'all. Trust me. And if you don't believe me, go and check out my playlist of flight attendant training. You'll see what I mean. But yeah, that's really it. That's going to be the starter for this series, how to become a flight attendant, my version of how to become a flight attendant, because every YouTube blogger out there has their own version. I've watched every video when I was in the process of becoming a flight attendant, and I pulled nuggets from everybody and what they said and their ideas, and I made it my own, and here I am today. So look forward to my next 4 videos. I'll probably be putting out one once a week for the next month up until that magical day that that airline near and dear to my heart opens their application process, and you'll be ready. I will have prepared you, and we'll get you those wings. But y'all, please, if you have any questions, anything that you're already thinking of, just go ahead and put those down in the comments, and I will definitely answer those questions in the next upcoming videos. I just want to see y'all succeed. Like, I really, really do. There are so many YouTube vloggers that I'm so appreciative of still to this day, because their videos gave me so much insight on what this job really was, how to prepare for the interview process and all of that, and I just want to pass that love on down to y'all. So let me stop chit-chatting because your girl has a flight to catch in the morning. I have a 3-day trip coming up. I'm going to Buffalo, New York, and Syracuse, New York. So that should be exciting. I've never been there. I keep going to all these places I've never been, which is the whole point of getting this job, so I'm excited. So I'm gonna wash this face off, take this red lipstick off, get out of this. Oh yeah, don't give those interviewers all of this. We need shirts that come up to here, okay? Bye y'all. Until next time, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, especially so you can be notified when the next video comes out after this one. But please make sure you subscribe. If you know any other aspiring flight attendants, please go ahead and share this video with them. Like this video, comment down below. Oh yeah, and I'm also going to be doing a question and answer video soon as well. My channel is growing slowly but surely, so I just want to get y'all, I just want y'all to know me a little bit more. I know I kind of did an introduction video a while ago, but things are changing, life is changing. So if you have any questions about anything, honestly, if it's about the flight attendant interview, if it's about the lifestyle, if it's about real estate, whatever you want to know, I'm truly an open book for the most part. So just comment down below, ask. I know a lot of y'all actually go to my Instagram page. If you don't know my Instagram, I'll have it at the bottom right here. A lot of y'all ask me questions on Instagram, and I'm very happy to answer and help you all in the best way that I can. So, yep, that's it. See y'all next time.